You've been overlooked, ignored, disrespected, maybe even betrayed. But here's the cold truth. They've just made the worst mistake of their lives. They think you're weak. They think you're nothing. They've turned their back on you. And now they're about to realize the consequences of their arrogance. The most dangerous thing you can be is underestimated. It's not the loudest in the room that gets the job done. It's the quiet ones, the ones who bide their time, the ones who wait for the perfect moment. And you've been waiting. The key to power is knowing when to strike, and you're in the perfect position right now. While they think you've been dormant, you've been observing, analyzing, understanding how the game is played. They've given you a head start, they've ignored you, and in doing so, they've made a fatal error. They've forgotten something crucial. Those who underestimate you will regret it deeply. In their complacency, they've shown their cards. They've exposed their flaws, their vulnerabilities, and now they're too blind to notice your ascent. This is where the game changes. This is where you evolve. What you do next will define you, and believe me, it will be unforgettable. And let me make one thing clear. You will not just get revenge. You will make them regret it forever. It will be so deep, so painful, that they'll wish they'd never crossed you in the first place. Now it's time to comment below. I will make them regret it. It's not just a phrase, it's a promise. You will show them the price of their ignorance. Number 2, the strategy of silent preparation. You see, the biggest mistake they made wasn't just ignoring you. It was thinking you'd stay down. People get complacent. They believe in the illusion of stability, in the idea that power can be taken without consequence. But they don't understand the nature of real strength. Real power doesn't need to scream for attention. It doesn't need to be constantly visible. Real power is quiet, calculated, and lethal. While they were busy living their shallow, predictable lives, you were sharpening your mind, your skills, your resources. You've been working in silence, laying the foundation for your return, for your rise. That's the key to dominating this world. It's the quiet ones who own the game, the ones who don't show their cards too soon, the ones who spend their time preparing, not boasting. Preparation is where true power comes from. And now, it's time to unleash it. You've watched, listened, and observed them. You know their weaknesses, you know where they're vulnerable, and they've given you that knowledge because they thought you were insignificant. Every moment you were ignored, you were gathering the intelligence you need. Their arrogance made them careless, and now you have the leverage to strike at their core. But you can't be reckless. You're not going to lash out in a fit of rage. No, you'll strike with precision, with the cold calculation of a master strategist. And don't confuse this with revenge. Revenge is petty, reactionary. You're playing a different game. This is about dominance. This is about making them regret every second they ever doubted you. They will see your rise and wish they had never crossed you. But it won't be because you acted in anger. It will be because you were always 10 steps ahead. They won't even see it coming. Now drop a comment below. They will regret ever ignoring me. Because you've already made the decision. You've already taken control of your destiny. Now it's time for them to feel the weight of your quiet power. Number 3. The cold calculation of power. Understand this. Power is never about emotion. Emotion is the tool of the weak, the tool of the desperate. When you let emotion control you, you give up your ability to think clearly, to plan effectively, to execute with precision. Power is calculated. It's cold. It's deliberate. The moment you act out of impulse, you lose control of the situation. And control, that's what you need. True strength is in controlling the game, not merely reacting to it. The reason they ignored you, the reason they thought they could trample you without consequence, is because they believed they had the upper hand. They assumed you were too weak to challenge them. But that assumption was their fatal flaw. Now you know better. You know that they only held power because they convinced you and themselves that they were untouchable. It's time to remind them that no one is truly untouchable. Even the most powerful have vulnerabilities, and those who are too blinded by their own sense of superiority fail to guard them. Now, you've seen their cracks, you've recognized where they're weak, and you're in the perfect position to exploit those weaknesses. But remember, your strike must be precise. It must be surgical. Power doesn't need to be flashy. It doesn't need to be loud. Power is quiet, measured, and unstoppable. You can't rush this. You can't act on impulse, no matter how tempting it is. If you strike too soon, if you reveal your hand too early, you risk everything. It's about patience. You must let them think they're still in control, that they still have the upper hand. Let them build their arrogance, their false sense of superiority. The higher they climb, the harder they fall. And when they reach their peak, when they think they've won, that's when you'll strike. That's when you'll deliver the crushing blow that makes them regret every moment they doubted you. What will this look like? It will look like cold, calculated action. It will look like silence at first, like the calm before the storm. You won't need to announce your return. You won't need to make a scene. You'll let the results of your power speak for themselves. They will see the consequences of their ignorance, and they will know exactly who is responsible for their downfall. When you strike, you won't show remorse. You won't seek satisfaction. You won't act out of anger or bitterness. You'll strike because it's the logical conclusion to the game they've played. You'll strike because they made a grave error, and you're the one who will make them pay for it. And trust me, they will pay. Don't forget, comment down below. They will regret ever ignoring me, because you're no longer a victim. You're not the one to be pitied. You are the one in control. You are the one who will change the game. You've mastered the art of patience, the art of power, and now you will reap the rewards. Number 4, the subtle art of manipulation. Power isn't just about what you do, it's about what you make others do. When you understand the core of human nature, when you truly grasp what motivates people, you become untouchable. Most people react out of emotion. They react to external events, to what others say, to what happens in their immediate environment. But you will never let emotion rule you. You will never let yourself be dictated by circumstances. Instead, you will shape those circumstances. You will manipulate the very narrative that others believe to be true. And that is the key to bending the world to your will. What they fail to see, what they fail to understand, is that they're just pawns in a game that's been played for centuries. They think they have the power because they hold positions of influence or because they appear successful. But that's all surface level. True power isn't about appearances. It's about control. Control over the game. Control over your image, control over the perception of others. You need to be the one pulling the strings, the one who remains behind the curtain, the one who never reveals their hand too soon. This is the essence of Machiavellianism. It's not just about being manipulative. It's about knowing how to use other people's weaknesses to your advantage. They'll never see it coming because you won't act like a threat. You won't appear aggressive or obvious. You'll be subtle. You'll be strategic. You'll learn how to make them think they're making the decisions, how to make them believe they have the upper hand, all while you quietly guide them to your desired outcome. They will think they are the ones in control, but you will be the one making the moves, orchestrating every move behind the scenes. Take a step back for a moment and understand this. They didn't just overlook you, they underestimated you. They thought you'd stay small, stay silent. They thought you'd never rise. And that arrogance will be their undoing. You will manipulate their perception of you, twist it into something they can't ignore, something they must respect. You will make them wish they'd never turned their back on you. And by the time they realize what's happened, it will be too late. They will be caught in your web, trapped in a game they never saw coming. It's time to start playing the game on your terms. Never react. Never act from a place of emotion. When they make their next move, don't respond with haste. Let them think they've gotten under your skin. Let them believe they've won. Let them make their mistake. And when the time is right, that's when you strike, calmly, deliberately, without mercy. They will regret ever underestimating you. They will regret not seeing the game for what it truly is. Remember, comment down below. They will regret ever ignoring me. This is more than a statement. It's a truth you're about to make undeniable. You've just begun. The game is yours to win. Number 5. The unseen cost of complacency. Understand this, complacency is the killer of greatness. It breeds laziness, arrogance, and entitlement. Those who grow complacent in their position, those who believe they've reached the peak, that they're untouchable, are the easiest targets. They make the fatal mistake of thinking that the power they've accumulated is permanent. But power is fragile, like glass. It can shatter with the slightest wrong move. And complacency? Complacency is the crack that will split that glass wide open. They've forgotten something fundamental. Power isn't guaranteed. It's fluid. It changes. It shifts with every move in the game. What you've seen as weakness in them, your waiting time, your preparation, is actually the greatest strength you could have ever possessed. You've been patient. You've bided your time. You've been refining your skills, your strategies, your understanding of their movements while they've been busy in their shallow comfort, believing they've won. Now you're in the position to shift the power balance, and it will be a shift they won't see coming. The beauty of their complacency is that they've grown predictable. They no longer believe that they need to watch their backs. They no longer think there's a threat lurking in the shadows. And you know what? That's their biggest mistake. Because when people believe they have no competition, they stop trying. They stop innovating. They stop preparing. They stop evolving. And that's when you, the one who's been quietly waiting, can step in and take what's rightfully yours. You have something they don't: perspective. While they've been focused on themselves, trapped in their own bubble of success, you've seen the bigger picture. You've seen their every move, their every flaw. And now you can capitalize on that knowledge. Knowledge is power, but more importantly, it's leverage. The more you understand their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities, the more you control the game. The key to dominating these people, the ones who have ignored you, the ones who have underestimated you, is not just to expose their flaws, but to exploit them with precision. The art of manipulation isn't about simply making someone act against their will. It's about guiding them to the point where they believe they're making the decision themselves. You won't need to force them into anything. No, they will walk straight into your trap, their egos too inflated to notice until it's too late. But make no mistake, this will require immense discipline. You cannot afford to get cocky. You cannot afford to get careless. You've waited this long to get here, to get in this position, and it would be a mistake to throw it all away with a reckless move. Patience, control, and understanding are your allies. You must let them believe they are winning. Let them feel as though they've climbed the ladder and are now on top of the world. And when the time is right, when they are at their most comfortable, at their most arrogant, that's when you make your move. The beauty of this strategy is that it's almost invisible. You'll never have to confront them directly. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't need to display your power in some dramatic fashion. No, you will simply act when they least expect it, with such subtlety that they won't even realize they've been outplayed. They will feel the sting of their own ignorance, and they will look around, trying to figure out how it happened. And when they do, they'll realize that the price of underestimating you was far higher than they ever imagined. So take a moment to reflect on this. Your preparation, your quiet work, has placed you in the perfect position to dominate. You've been overlooked, yes, but now you will show them exactly why they should never have turned their back on you. They will regret every second they've taken you for granted. And you won't need to lift a finger. You will simply move in, pull the strings, and watch them fall. Remember, comment below. They will regret ever ignoring me. You've planned for this. You've studied them, and now you will control the game. Number 6, the long-term play, mastering time and timing. The greatest players in the game of power aren't the ones who act impulsively. They're not the ones who burn with immediate rage or desperation to prove themselves. No, the greatest players are the ones who understand the full scope of time, the long-term consequences of every move they make. Power is a marathon, not a sprint, and the longer you can hold your patience, the more devastating your final strike will be. This is the difference between those who win and those who are quickly forgotten. Most people act in haste. They want instant results, they want immediate satisfaction, and they're willing to risk everything for a short-term victory. But that's the strategy of the weak. That's the strategy of the desperate. If you want to be untouchable, if you want to be the one who controls the game, you must understand one simple truth. You have time on your side. Time is a tool. It's a weapon, and you must use it with ruthless precision. The key to controlling time is recognizing that everything unfolds according to a natural rhythm. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Every move you make reverberates through the game, setting the stage for future victories. You've already placed yourself in the position where you have the upper hand. Now, all you need to do is wait. They'll make the mistake of thinking that time is on their side, that they're safe. They'll become complacent, and in their complacency, they'll open themselves up to the exact kind of exploitation you've been preparing for. Time is your silent partner, the invisible force that allows you to observe, learn, and understand your enemies with unparalleled clarity. They won't even realize they've been set up for failure while you sit back, quietly studying them, watching them expose their vulnerabilities in the open. They think they're in control, but it's all a false illusion. Every single move they make is a piece of the puzzle you're assembling. They're giving you the information you need without even knowing it. They'll continue to make the same mistakes, fall into the same traps, all while they believe they're invincible. And as they continue to rise higher in their arrogance, they'll be climbing closer and closer to their own downfall. You've seen it before, people who rise too quickly, too recklessly, who begin to believe in their own invulnerability. But the higher they rise, the more painful their fall. And you will be the one to deliver that fall. Remember, power is about positioning. You don't need to be the one in the spotlight. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room. You don't need to demand attention. Power is about being the one who moves strategically in the background, who understands the rhythms of the game better than anyone else. And you've positioned yourself perfectly. You're not rushing in. You're not blinded by the desire for immediate validation. You're playing the long game. You're letting time do the heavy lifting. This is where your strength lies. You can endure. You can withstand the slow burn of patience, while they will inevitably crumble under the weight of their own egos. The longer they remain unaware, the more you control. Their ignorance is your weapon. While they're enjoying their false sense of success, you'll be quietly building your own empire, strategically making moves that position you to take over when the time is right. This doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a rush of adrenaline or emotion. It happens through cold, calculated preparation, through the willingness to wait until every piece is in place. And when everything is finally set, when their arrogance reaches its peak, that's when you strike. Not before, not too early. But when they've fully convinced themselves that they're invincible, that's when you make them feel the full weight of your power. The key to winning the long-term game is never revealing too much of yourself. Never letting them see the full scope of your plans. Let them underestimate you. Let them believe they're in control. And while they do, you'll be quietly building your own success, strengthening your own position until they're completely caught off guard by your rise. It will hit them when they least expect it. They will realize too late that they have no one to blame but themselves. And that realization, that bitter, painful truth, will be the moment they regret ignoring you. So, as you continue your journey, remember this. They will regret ever ignoring you because you've known the truth from the beginning. It's not about being the loudest or the most obvious. It's about waiting. It's about playing the long game. It's about making them regret underestimating you every single time. And the longer you wait, the sweeter that revenge will be. Comment below. They will regret ever ignoring me. And remember, time is your ally. When it's time to strike, they won't stand a chance. Number 7, the power of subtlety, when silence becomes a weapon. One of the most overlooked aspects of power is silence. It's not just the absence of sound, it's the presence of control. Those who are quick to speak, quick to react, and quick to act are often those who fall victim to their own emotions. Power, real power, understands the value of restraint. It's knowing when to remain silent, when to watch, when to listen, and when to strike. While they think their constant movements, their constant noise, their constant demands for attention make them powerful, you know better. You understand that the quietest person in the room often controls the room. The person who doesn't jump at every challenge, who doesn't react to every insult, who doesn't constantly seek validation, is the one who exudes true power. They will make the mistake of thinking you're weak because you don't react, because you don't argue, because you don't waste your energy on inconsequential things. But in truth, you are holding the most valuable card: control over your emotions, control over the situation, and, most importantly, control over them. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, to react to the latest drama, to get involved in every petty argument that comes your way. But that's what they want. They want you to waste your time, your energy, your focus. They want you distracted. They want you to fall into their traps. The moment you react, the moment you show that you're emotionally invested in the outcome, you lose. You give up the most powerful tool you have, your detachment. You give them control over your actions. But when you remain silent, when you choose not to engage with their attempts to provoke you, you become untouchable. They can't control you because they can't read you, they can't predict you. And that unpredictability, it's terrifying. Silence isn't a weakness. It's not passivity. It's a calculated decision. The ability to say nothing in the face of chaos is the hallmark of true power. Think about it. Every time they try to provoke you, every time they try to bait you into reacting, they're showing you their weakness. They're revealing their desperation for validation, their need for attention. They need to see a reaction from you because they believe they can't control the situation unless they get one. And you? You withhold that reaction. You refuse to give them the satisfaction. Every time you don't react, every time you don't fall for their bait, you establish dominance over them. It's the psychological equivalent of controlling the tempo of the game. And make no mistake, the one who controls the tempo is the one who wins. They think their insults hurt you. They think their criticisms are a reflection of your value. But here's the truth. They are testing your limits. They are trying to provoke a reaction because they want to see where they stand. They want to see if they can knock you off your course. But when you refuse to engage, when you remain cool, calm, and unaffected, they'll realize something critical. They can't control you. They can't manipulate you. They can't get inside your head. And that's when the real power dynamic shifts. There's something profoundly intimidating about someone who doesn't need to speak to make their presence felt. The silence becomes a statement, a declaration of strength. When you choose silence, you send a message that says, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to react. I don't need your approval. I am in control of myself and this situation, and nothing you do will shake me. This isn't weakness. This is the most potent form of power. You'll learn to use silence to manipulate the very narrative around you. You won't need to defend yourself, to justify your actions, to argue your point. Instead, you'll let your silence speak for you. And eventually, they'll realize they're playing on your terms. They'll understand that you're operating from a position of absolute strength, and that's when their arrogance will begin to crack. You must train yourself to remain unfazed. Every insult, every critique, every attempt to pull you into their drama should roll off you like water off a duck's back. They'll continue to make the same mistake over and over again, trying to provoke you, trying to test your boundaries, and you'll remain unaffected. They'll start to question their own power. They'll start to second-guess their own position. And when they do, that's when the game is over. They'll have lost control, and they won't even know it. Remember, silence doesn't mean weakness. It means mastery. Mastery over yourself, over your emotions, and over the situation at hand. When they're busy reacting to everything, you will be the one moving quietly, deliberately, and with full control. And when the time comes, when you do speak, when you do make your move, it will be a decisive blow, one that will shatter their fragile sense of superiority. they will never see it coming. So, take a moment and comment below. They will regret ever ignoring me. Because they will. When you embrace the power of silence, when you understand how to use it to your advantage, there is nothing they can do to stop you. Number 8, the illusion of victory. Why the overconfident fall? One of the most dangerous traps to fall into is the illusion of victory. It's a trap that most people unknowingly create for themselves. They rise quickly, they achieve success, they start accumulating power, and with that success they start to believe that they're untouchable. They mistake their current position as permanent, they assume their power is infallible, and they grow blind to the fact that power is always shifting, always evolving. But here's the painful truth that they won't realize until it's far too late. The moment you believe you've won, that's the exact moment you set yourself up for the greatest fall. Complacency is the silent killer of every success. It's the subtle poison that seeps into the minds of those who are temporarily on top. They get comfortable, they stop preparing, they stop looking over their shoulder, and that comfort, that overconfidence, becomes their downfall. They'll begin to act recklessly, arrogantly. They'll make decisions without thinking, believing they can afford to take risks because their power is unshakable. This is when the cracks begin to form. You've been watching them, haven't you? You've been observing their every move, studying how their arrogance has slowly twisted their behavior. They've become predictable. They're no longer the sharp, calculated force they once were. They've let the superficial comforts of success cloud their judgment. They've forgotten the very thing that got them to the top, the relentless pursuit of power, the quiet calculations, the constant vigilance. Now, they're on autopilot, cruising with the false belief that they've won the game, but they haven't won anything yet. Not by a long shot. You, however, have a different mindset. You're not fooled by fleeting success or the illusion of invincibility. You know that victory is never final, power is never permanent. It's fluid. It moves. It shifts. The more you study those around you, their patterns, their behavior, the more you realize that their success is an illusion. And you, the one who has stayed quiet, the one who has remained in the shadows, watching, learning, growing, you'll be the one to expose that illusion. You'll be the one to show them the true cost of complacency. Here's how this works. The overconfident believe that they're above the rules. They start cutting corners, making reckless moves, pushing boundaries that shouldn't be pushed. And in doing so, they create their own downfall. Every risky move they make, every decision driven by their inflated sense of self-worth is another step toward their destruction. They begin to believe they can't fail, that the rules don't apply to them, that they're in a position to do whatever they want without consequences. This is where the game shifts in your favor. While they're busy feeling invincible, you've been quietly planning. You've been observing, learning from their mistakes, waiting for the moment when their arrogance will blind them to the reality that they're teetering on the edge of their own destruction. You've been positioning yourself for this moment. You've been preparing. And now that they've gotten too comfortable, you will be the one to exploit their weaknesses. The key to pulling this off is patience. You cannot rush it. You cannot act on impulse. This is where many fail. They act too soon, driven by their desire for immediate satisfaction, but you know better. You understand that timing is everything. You've watched them long enough to know when they'll make their biggest mistake. You've waited for the perfect moment when their overconfidence will be their undoing. You've been calculating this entire time, letting them think they're in control. Let them believe they're on top. Let them bask in the illusion of victory. And when the time comes, and believe me, it will, you'll be ready. You will strike with precision, exploiting every flaw they've carelessly revealed in their arrogance. And they won't even know what hit them. They'll be so blinded by their own belief in their invulnerability that they won't see you coming. By the time they realize their mistake, it will be too late. The power shift will already be in motion, and they will have no choice but to watch as everything they've built begins to crumble. They'll feel the sting of their own hubris, and they'll regret every moment they ever underestimated you. Now, while you wait for the perfect moment, Take this as a reminder. The greatest enemies you will face are not the ones who are obvious, the ones who wear their power like a badge. The greatest enemies are the ones who are convinced they've already won. It's their own confidence that will be their undoing. They will expose themselves, their weaknesses, and their mistakes, and you will be the one to capitalize on it. They won't even see it coming. Every moment they waste, every decision they make based on their inflated self-importance brings you one step closer to your ultimate goal. And when it's all said and done, when they finally realize what's happening, when they realize how wrong they were to ignore you, it will be too late for them. They will watch in helpless frustration as you rise to take everything they've worked for. But unlike them, you won't be blinded by your own victory. You will remain calculated, controlled, and always one step ahead. So comment below, they will regret ever ignoring me, because in the end, they will. They will realize their mistake, and you will be the one standing tall, untouchable, and in full control of the game. Number 9. The inevitable collapse when power crumbles. There's a harsh truth about power that many fail to recognize. It's fragile. It might seem invincible, like an unbreakable fortress, but in reality, it's only as strong as the foundation it's built on. Most people, especially those who've attained success quickly, fail to realize that power built on arrogance, illusion, and overconfidence is destined to crumble. They believe that the higher they rise, the more untouchable they become. But they are wrong. The higher they go, the harder they fall. It's only a matter of time before their foundation cracks, and when it does, everything they've built will come crashing down. And you? You've been quietly preparing for this moment. You've watched them rise. You've watched them climb higher and higher, all while you've been laying the groundwork for your own ascent. But you haven't made the same mistakes they have. You haven't let your arrogance blind you to the reality of your own position. You've remained patient, deliberate, and above all, you've stayed focused on your long-term goal. They've grown complacent. They've believed their success was inevitable, that nothing could take them down. But you've seen the cracks all along. You've seen the flaws, the weaknesses in their approach, the small miscalculations that will eventually bring their empire to its knees. And when it does, they'll realize too late that they were never as untouchable as they thought. They'll be left scrambling, trying to salvage what's left of their reputation, their power, their position in the game. But it will be too late. Their time has passed. And you, the one who quietly observed, the one who patiently waited, will be the one to step in and take what's yours. The collapse of their power won't be loud. It won't be dramatic. It will be subtle at first, a slow unraveling that no one notices until it's too late. But you will notice. You'll see the signs before anyone else, and you'll be ready to capitalize on it. While they're busy trying to hold on to the remnants of their success, you will rise. You will take control, and in the end, they'll regret the moment they ever underestimated you. So comment below, they will regret ever ignoring me, because when their empire falls, you will be the one standing tall. Number 10. The final strike. Ruthless and unstoppable. Now, everything you've been building up to is coming into focus. You've played the long game. You've watched, you've waited, and you've silently positioned yourself for the moment when you'll make them regret every second they ever doubted you. But now, the time has come for you to strike. This is the moment when you move, and when you move, it will be like a bolt of lightning. Quick, sharp, and completely unexpected. No one will see it coming, not even those who thought they had it all figured out. You've been the calm before the storm, the silent observer who has taken everything in. And now it's time to unleash your full force. This is where you show them just how powerless they were. The rise will be slow, the patience will be tested, but the final strike will be swift. You will not hesitate. You will not waste time second-guessing yourself. Every move, every action will be meticulously calculated. You've been laying the groundwork for this exact moment, and now it's time to capitalize. The game they thought they were winning is no longer theirs. They've grown too arrogant, too comfortable, and you will expose that weakness. Every wrong decision they've made, every careless step they've taken, will come crashing down upon them when you move. It will be methodical, cold, and unrelenting. You will strike with precision, eliminating their hold on the game, piece by piece, until there is nothing left but rubble. But understand this. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about satisfying some fleeting desire for payback. This is about the cold, calculated reality of power. This is about ensuring that they never, ever make the mistake of underestimating you again. This is about shifting the balance in your favor and securing your place at the top, unchallenged and untouchable. You are not seeking validation. You are not seeking revenge. You are seeking control. When you make your move, you will leave nothing to chance. They will try to recover, to rebuild, but they will never have the same grip on power that they once did. They will be left scrambling, confused, and in the wake of your unstoppable rise, and they'll be left with only one regret: ever ignoring you in the first place. Now, comment below. They will regret ever ignoring me. Because when you rise, you'll make them wish they never doubted you.